Hey! Hello, infidel. Hello, infidel. Hello, infidel. Hello, infidel. I am going to try and give you this is going to be my last recording for this morning, but I want to cover an area that I think might be most important to you guys. This this journey has been my biggest pleasure in life. He said Mogo Park said that the journey has been his pleasure. So it has been my pleasure to have been proactively there right there when everybody was sleeping on the trigger. So what I did was, irrespective of the fact that I did not have the mental capability to go into education, I went in there on my own and held my part, the grind. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the fact that my sweat equity in the money that I've made while I am in the United States is $300K, and 99.99% of it was made as a DMO, a dish machine operator, and I put the money into to see that I was able to. I didn't go 6 feet under. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm going to be using the fact that I was not sleeping on the trigger and I was working hard without doing anything wrong, without causing anybody any problem, and I was able to stay without being detected by the radar of the sophisticated, hegemonious exceptionalist. What I mean by that is that I was able to stay off the radar, which I think 99.9999% of people who have come from the diaspora, come from any other part of the world, or who have moved from another part of the world to another part of the world. And I use the term there, and I'm looking at 500 out of the 8 billion people we have. There are about 1 billion people are in flux like that. So when they are in flux like that, they do go in and do what you call the law and order. They obey the law and order of the land. Like they said, there were 11 million people in illegal in the United States. A lot of them are functioning people. They are functional. They are functional. They are paying tax, because you can even pay tax without having a social security number, because that's what the IRS wants you to do. So the reason I'm saying this is that I am glad that I came here and I took a stand that I wasn't going to do my brothers and my sisters in, or I wasn't going to do women in, even though I was boisterous at my point of arrival. I was boisterous enough, and my future was very, very bright. But then, instead of me to do women in, I was able to avoid not doing them in. I can even give you an example. The former Supreme Court Justice was asked by his ex-girlfriend, and when they were trying to send him to the Senate, and the ex-girlfriend said, and all of them said they will go with him. I have that privilege to be able to say that. I have never met with anyone who doesn't like me. But the key word here today is that I did not go 24, I did not throw my people of African descent 6 feet under. I would have loved them to start hovering over me right now and trying to beat into my head money to get me off the ground. But at the same time too, that's one thing I said I was going to do today, to say that I have now moved. It's like you having a primary school degree, you have a secondary school degree, you have a bachelor's degree. With this, the world, according to me, your bachelor's degree is for you to eat. When you start doing a master's degree, it's for the bigger world to eat. When you start doing a PhD, it's for now for humanity. So I have done my bachelor's degree on my own, and I'm now doing a master. I've done a master's degree. At the time I'm doing my PhD, I'm having problem deploying on my thesis, my dissertation. That's where I'm at. I'm rusty on deploying my dissertation without doing any damage. But I'm ready to stay the course. The worst case scenario is that my back is against the wall. I'm aware of that, and for the first time, I am putting soft skill to work. Like for example, a day before Thanksgiving, I got hacked. After I got hacked, I couldn't even make it to my dinner date for Thanksgiving Day. To the point where the people that I spent the time with had to give me a bus pass to be able to come back. So when I got back home, I did try to get things going, my dissertation or my thesis, to get it off the ground. As I was doing that, I was having to do the YouTube channel, which is now sitting there with almost like 400 plus viewers, with almost like 40 already deployed YouTube by me, because I don't even have a single dollar to be able to do this recording. All I did was look for the library, Dallas library, came in here and took a test, and they told me that you had to be able to take a test to be able to, so that you can be able to record. So I did that, and I started recording. So I'm recording unfiltered. I did find out that at this point in time, I really don't need a lot of money to be able to get on the ground. And I was hoping that something would have happened from out of nowhere. I would have loved to go back to Nigeria right now, because Nigeria is 6 feet under. This did not come as a surprise, because as a kid, I did question. I was losing my father was one thing. Doing it on my own was another thing. And I was called to bar by Oswan, who told us about the original sin of slavery. So when after he has told me, I said, okay, I took it to heart. And I tried to question other people around me, my loved one, and there was no answer. So I went in and then started the journey of my life, which is what now happened. As I was going along, it was a lot of hard work, positively behavioral, and I went to the point where I had to question why people were now having to be corrupt. As I became the president of the Student Union government, sitting on a lot of cash, pile of cash, and I was being influenced by sidekicks to let's eat, and I said, no, I'm not eating. So I time I got out of there, and I was now with the federal government, with the state government, and the local government. I had 3 jobs, and I was only concentrating on the federal government. I questioned the audacity of that same scenario too. When they did not want to give me an answer, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to beat the odds to go and get a bachelor's degree, I was told that there was, by propaganda, that you can do it overseas, so I went overseas. At the time I got there, I was depressed. I couldn't really function no more. But I did not mess up my life by got the women's bag, and I got the men's bag, and I kept going, doing these things, and using the dish money to pay for most expensive educational experience that instead of people paying in state, I was paying 4 times what they were paying. And I went in, I go out of school, go back, go in, go back, go washing dishes to do that. So it's the same point now. After I've already overcome that, I said, okay, what was stopping me was money to be able to get my education up to speed. And I thought I was projecting that I was going to become an industrialist. And I set out, and I went back again to school, got another diploma in computerized accounting. I did have one of classes that I flunked, which that's supposed to have happened. That was like being almost like, it did touch my heart like that I should have even flunked a class. It was a typing, and I got a D from that class. It didn't really bother me. So when I did finish that, I went in and put some money into R&D to go and get a small business started. I couldn't do it. Then I said, okay, I had to go back again to school. I went back for career and life planning, and I was going to use it for my business. So I was in school in a liberal arts institution, and I was telling most of the teachers and my friends that I wanted to do what these boys, old boy network, have done. People like all those like Gates who did not have, they went to go and get a degree later on, but they drop out